Hi, this is Greg with Spates Painting, and today I just want to show you a really cool finish. It's out there, gel stay finish, but what I do is I actually uh, use a super soft China bristle type brush. The super soft bristle actually lays it out really nice. I'm going to be doing this by hand, and what I also like to do is I will add a little bit of polyurethane satin oil base, and here's the gel stain, Old Masters. This one today that I'm going to be using is cedar, and a little splash of this is mineral spirits, oil-based mineral spirits. Mix those three things together to in with the gel stain. Mostly like probably about 80-90% gel stain, and just basically just drizzle the polyurethane in, and also just a drizzle of the mineral spirits to give it a smooth texture, and also the urethane actually helps give it a nice shiny finish at the end. So I'll show you what I do with it. As you brush it in, the urethane kind of rises, and especially as it dries, the urethane kind of comes to the top and gives you like a perfect natural finish. So you don't have to, I mean, you can spray it if you want afterwards, or you can put another layer of sealer urethane on it if you like. But this basically does the whole thing with one coat. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sand it. I've already sanded it, but I'm going to sand it again just to get it going here. You don't have to sand a whole heck of a lot. You just want to break up the finish, give your stain a chance to absorb. It is an oil-based product, so it will actually burn and penetrate into the old either lacquer finish, or even if you have a polyurethane finish on your doors now, it will actually burn the finish and actually penetrate and lock in. So it will not chip or peel. You don't want to use a water base. Water base might give you a different result. You might end up with chipping and peeling with water base, but with oil-based products, you won't end up with that. And you don't have to strip it. You don't have to take it down. You just want to break up the finish. And then we want to dust it, get the dust off of it. Then I like to use a nice little rag here to get off the rest of the dust. You can also put a little bit of mineral spirits or oil on here to really kind of just pick up the dust. All right, so now we're ready to go. And what we'll do is we have the super fine soft brush, and I'll be dipping it in with the stain here. Stain's already mixed up, ready to go. And what I'll do is I'll dab it around. I won't start brushing it right away. I'll kind of spread the stain around, and I'll start working it in. And you just keep working it in. You're gonna spend a little time on it. And with the mineral spirits in it, that's one of the reasons you use the mineral spirits in with the stain, is it keeps it open longer. So it's not gonna set up and dry really fast. That's why I prefer to use the oil-based stains and finishes over the water-based, because the water-based finishes tend to set up too fast, and it doesn't really give you the time to really get your finish and play with it. This is definitely more smelly alternative, but you're gonna get a much nicer finish and more professional finish rather than water-based products. And then as you do this, you'll see I'll go over it a few times, and I'm brushing it in. This is oak, so I'm brushing it into the grains, and it's getting smoother and smoother as I do it already. At first it was a little blotchy, but it's coming out really nice now. Now I'm feathering it out a little bit more. You don't want to go too heavy. You can always add a little more stain. You always want to go a little light at first, and then if you need more, then come back and put some more on it. But just gonna spread it around. At first it looks a little blotchy. I don't know if you can see it, but It looks a little blotchy at first, but this nice soft hair bristle brush just kind of just pushes it into the grains and works it into the wood and just really creating a nice natural finish in here. And it's basically taken this really washed out old cabinet and literally bringing it back to brand new looking. With a little more, the cedar has a little more red in it than it originally had, but it looks really great. It looks kind of like a fruit wood when it's done. And you can use dark oak stains or just natural oak. You can use whatever color you want and do the same type of finish. And now I'm just working it in and getting it smooth, really I don't want any brush marks. So right now I'm just lightly brushing. At first I was brushing a little hard, but now I'm just like doing it nice and light. And I'm going with the grain, always with the grain. And then I finish out this way with the grain going up and down. This way I cross over, and then I finish up. And this is a 2-inch brush, which works out really nice. You can even do bigger doors. I did some really big doors with the 2-inch brush. You can change out at like 2.5 inch if you have really big kitchen doors, but it stays open. You can get along pretty good with a 2-inch brush. Okay, this one's looking really great. And like I said, as you softly brush it in, you don't want to spend too much time on it. You want to get it to a point, and you don't want to keep coming back to it. Once you get it all laid out nice and neat, you just want to leave it. Don't put it away and then look at it and then come back to it and go, oh shoot, it looks like it's a little dry in that area, because you'll come back and it will already start to set up, and then you'll take the brush and now it is dry. You've basically just destroyed your finish. You're gonna find out that it darkens the stain. It starts doing some really funky things to the door. So once you lay it out and get it all nice and pretty to where you like it, if there is just a little bit of brush marks, a lot of that will like melt in as it's drying. So don't worry about it too much. Just get it as clean as possible. This one looks great. It really doesn't have any brush marks. And if you do want to do something different, sometimes I keep a second brush, a little chip brush that's dry and clean, and you can follow that out. And if you have too much product on, or you still have some brush marks, the dry brush takes care of it. Feather it out and you're done. Okay, so let's take a look. Hopefully the camera picks it up, and that's your finish. It looks awesome. So hopefully you learned something from that. Let me know. Greg Spates Painting. Thanks.